What do we remember and what do we carry forward? In Memorial Days, Pulitzer Prize-winning author Geraldine Brooks delivers a profoundly moving exploration of loss, legacy, and the wild, wordless ways nature helps us remember who we are. The story begins in the aftermath of war, not a war on battlefields, but the quieter, personal kind. Our narrator is Sarah Ellis, a wildlife journalist turned grief-stricken daughter. After her father's sudden death, a reclusive war historian obsessed with forgotten battles, Sarah returns to their family cottage in the Blue Ridge Mountains, seeking answers in the notebooks he left behind. But the answers don't come in words. They come in silence, in wind across tall grass, in the call of a mourning dove, in the slow steps of a wounded fox that begins to appear at her window every dusk. As Sarah settles into the cottage once more, she starts to trace her father's final years, not through memoirs or recordings, but through the changes he made to the land, the rewilding of the property, the restoration of native trees, and the mysterious project labeled only Memorial Days in his journals. The deeper she reads, the more she realizes he had been preparing something, not a monument of stone, but one of life. The narrative shifts back and forth between present-day Sarah and past entries from her father's journals. We learn of his quiet struggle with PTSD, his guilt over the lives he wrote about but never saved, and his belief that the earth itself could be a living archive of grief and recovery. Each tree he planted, each birdhouse, each trail, he saw them as pages in a living memorial. But Memorial Days is not just about family. It's about migration, both human and animal. Sarah begins tracking a group of endangered cranes that nest near the property. These birds, graceful and ghost-like, mirror her emotional journey. Their return each season becomes a heartbeat of the story, fragile, rhythmic, full of hope. In one of the novel's most poignant turns, Sarah discovers that her father once tried to rehabilitate a lone injured crane, the same one she sees now, years later, circling the skies above the valley. The connection is not coincidental. It's spiritual. It's the novel's quiet reminder that healing is never lost. It echoes through generations. Geraldine Brooks writes with her signature lyricism, lush descriptions of wilderness, slow revelations of character, and deep empathy for the broken and beautiful things that survive. There's a reverence for history in every chapter, not just war history, but ecological history, family history, personal memory. As Sarah uncovers the final pieces of her father's project, she realizes Memorial Days was not meant to mark death, but to celebrate what comes after. It was a living ritual. Each day spent in remembrance was an act of choosing to stay present, to love what is still here, to listen. The novel ends not with resolution, but with return. Sarah, walking the trails her father cleared, cranes circling once more, the fox watching from the tree line, and the sound of wind through leaves, like the turning of a page, soft but certain. Memorial Days asks us to consider how we honor those we've lost, not through monuments or holidays alone, but through the way we live, through what we protect, through the names we whisper into the trees, hoping someone or something remembers. This is a book for those who have loved and lost, for those who find sanctuary in nature, for those who believe that grief, when honored gently, can become something beautiful. Book Frame. Subscribe for more book-powered storytelling. Memorial Days by Geraldine Brooks, now available.